Hello and welcome to Wrestling in Mom's Basement. This is the week of July 30th for the reviews for Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT. I, of course, am Patrick Young. This guy to my right, just before air, told me that a 5 was talking. Joe Bonito.
Thank you.
I know I messed it up. I was trying to do, what's her name from TNA?
5 is talking. That girl.
Scarlett.
Thank you. Oh. Sable?
Yeah.
That's her character.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun character to have.
And I know I screwed it up, so.
Yeah, I know. Because I was lost when I'm talking.
Yeah.
But I do not meant that. Scarlett's one of my favorites.
Yes. I figured.
Yeah.
Even though we don't know if she can wrestle or not.
Yeah, if she can't wrestle, she's unattractive.
In his world.
But speaking of, in everybody's world, you would do anything that's a blonde. Speaking of unattractive, but blonde, Brock Lesnar made his return to WWE for the first time.
I will not sleep with Brock Lesnar, just to let everybody know.
Because you're afraid of Sable. Since if Sable wasn't a pitch, it would be a different story. So, when Brock Lesnar made his return to WWE television for the first time since April's Greatest Royal Rumble, began history, SummerSlam, and a date with Roman for the Beast's Universal Championship. Fellow UFC alum, also a blonde, Ronda Rousey, who I will do up and down and all the way, returned from injury.
I would too.
Sit down. Returned to injury and immediately set her sights on Royal Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, whom she would challenge alongside TV in Brooklyn. Throw in a Extreme Rules rematch. Pin Finn Balor against Constable Baron Corbin. Hot damn. A showdown between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, and the Red Brand was poised to have his most newsworthy broadcast in weeks. The opening segment of Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns.
For the part, well, I liked about half of it. I'll start with the part I didn't like since that was first. It was pretty much Roman Reigns opening up Monday Night Raw again. It seems to be almost formulaic at this point that Roman Reigns opens up Monday Night Raw. Generally complaining about Brock Lesnar, like he did. Complaining that he's getting special treatment, pretty much like he did. And essentially for Roman, it was the same. It's the same promo he's cut for just about every Brock Lesnar match he's had this year, where he pretty much says he's going to make Brock Lesnar a bitch and all that stuff. But I did like Paul Heyman's part that it set up the angle throughout the night, and pretty much saying that Paul Heyman doesn't necessarily have full control over Brock Lesnar, and it could set up something interesting for Heyman to come.
For me, this was more the same. We've heard all these two at real time. Roman's was slated to face Brock. The quality of Heyman's work was good, though. I didn't like the stuff Roman said, the material he was given in the script, but he was more solid than normal in terms of his delivery. Perhaps that's because his words didn't feel as force-fed, I guess, except for the bitch part, as usual.
Yeah.
When that's the case, he typically shines. Predictable and solid amount of taste of things to come for later tonight. Next, Constable Baron Corbin defeated Finn Balor.
Essentially, the match has it wasn't a bad match, but it sort of has a bad taste in my mouth because Finn Balor got pinned yet again by Constable Corbin.
First time ever.
Second time ever. Isn't it?
No, Finn beat him.
I thought he pinned him before.
No,
Or no, he pinned Bobby Roode.
Right.
What was that?
Stop being racist and getting us white people mixed up.
I'm sorry.
Especially with Finn's peel.
Yeah, but still, I don't think Corbin, with the momentum he's very much lacking in the ring right now, I don't think he should be taking pins on Finn Balor, who's also lacking momentum whatsoever. So I don't think it was a good call. However, I thought the match was fairly good from the two.
Corbin and Balor, for me, have some really matches. But it's something that's prevented both this and their Extreme Rules bout from achieving the overall quality their talents are capable of. Corbin win was an terrible example of WWE's 50-50 booking. His victory means seemingly little in the grand scheme of things, other than to rehab his character under his loss. unfortunately, is Finn who needs the most rehabbing because he's quickly earned a reputation of a guy who loses big matches or worse, the one he needs to win the most.
Yes.
Up next, Alicia Fox defeated Natalia.
Yeah, I didn't really have much interest in seeing Alicia Fox back in the ring. It wasn't a terrible match per se, but it wasn't necessarily something I was looking forward to, and nothing I really regret seeing, and nothing I'd really not regret seeing, essentially. Yeah, the match was just okay to me. It wasn't anything spectacular, mind-blowing, or opinion-altering. It was just okay, and it's more likely forgettable.
Okay, the match sucked to me. Alicia Fox beat Natalia. In 2018, in 2008, it don't matter what year. There's just some sentences don't be said. The match sucked. There was a callback to the Diva era, which we are still in.
Maybe I'm thinking something worse is just about to come.
That doesn't stop the match from sucking. The match was sucky for what it was. But the attention here was really on Rousey and Bliss. And WWE obviously booked the build to the SummerSlam match in this fashion. It could succeed in building real heat for Rousey versus Bliss. The question is whether there are enough interest angles to keep the fans' attention for the next 2 weeks. No. Or Trey will become bored to formula internal of the program before August 19th. Thankfully, the intensity of Rousey and the fantastic heel work of Bliss. Calm down. I said fantastic heel work. Of Alexa should prevent that from happening. I'm not even talking about what happened during that.
Essentially.
That was a travesty. Moving on.
Essentially, Alicia took out Ronda.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's as ridiculous as it sounds.
Bobby Lashley and Elias duet on Rock and Robin.
Yeah, that was a weird segment. Probably should have never been booked like that whatsoever. Whoever booked that should probably have been fired, actually.
Role should have never been booked, so fair enough.
Yeah, but it kind of made Lashley look like a huge idiot just walking out there when he's not necessarily on the friendliest terms with Elias.
I don't even know why they're feud.
I don't even know why they're feuding either. Lashley the week before literally just stopped the whole show so Elias could sing. You think Lashley would be considered a good guy, I guess. But this week it was apparently that Lashley decided to go out there, start singing, and then got punched by Elias.
Yeah, last year's Elias Rara that has almost no positive outcome for the superstars involved. Elias is charismatic enough to overcome a loss, but for the sake of his in-ring credibility, he cannot really afford one.
Yes.
Lashley's still seeking to put the underwhelming program with Sami Zayn behind him. Not to mention his results to Roman Reigns. Whatever happens, whoever loses comes out of the program and works off for it. And that's hardly the product of a quality story. Up next, Jinder Mahal defeated Braun Strowman. Yes, that sentence was just said by count out.
Yeah. Braun Strowman got defeated by Jinder Mahal, thankfully by count out. And a night of weird choices of booking.
This wasn't the weirdest.
It by far wasn't the weirdest. And at least it wasn't necessarily like Jinder Mahal went toe-to-toe with Braun Strowman. It was by a count-out distraction. So, not necessarily the greatest match you'll ever see. I actually forgot the match happened just 2 days later, so.
This match sucked. And the long line sucked. I would say the angle was a simple, fantastic whiteout to put an idea that Strowman could lose his championship opportunity at SummerSlam. Yeah. If Owens can get should have focused just long enough to get count out or disqualified, which at this point I'm really hoping happens. So effective and different from most of Braun's TV angles as of late.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what I had to, minus the match sucking, and the result was bad. But the result was also the best angle of the night to this point. Up next, Apollo Crews defeated Aiken. Okay.
Literally, a sigh is my reaction to that match. Really, Authors of Pain get their first defeat against them to Titus Worldwide.
No, it's not. No, it's not to Titus Worldwide.
Actually, to take a note from JD's book, Titus Catering.
First of all, why? Who's idea to have Authors of Pain wrestle in a singles match? Because in singles credibility, Apollo should be Aiken, but she did. But the match sucked. Aiken's on good worker on his own. I'm not sure what Razor is, but from what I've seen of Aiken, he's not good on his own. Razor's not, I'm going to assume it's just about the same. But as a team, they work. But like JoJo says, this is too little, too late. JoJo the singer, not JoJo Bray's Bish. Bray's homewrecker.
Not the one who does, the one that has stopped saying this match is scheduled for one fall.
Yeah, not that one.
Yeah.
The singer. It's too little, too late. After weeks of Authors of Pain, I'm gonna name Titus Catering. One of them losing a singles bout. I think it was Aiken. I put one of them. One of them losing a singles bout to Cruz's hard way for babyfaces to rebuild their credibility. This is gonna be a win that no one will remember a week or a month from now. As long as Aiken and Razor continue to beat down week after week. Up next, Seth Rollins defeated Drew McIntyre by disqualification.
In what is the match of the night for me. I don't think you can actually be surprised from Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins in one match on Raw and it being the best on the night.
It was only a good match.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
No, I know, thank you. You don't have to tell me, I know. I'm 100% sure.
Yes, it was.
Stop falling. Well, I think tell me.
Yes, for me it was the best match of the night. I'll reiterate it again since I got interrupted over here. I'll even say it a third time. It was the best match of the night. Drew and Seth seem to have very good chemistry together, which isn't really all that surprising. And I really like what they do in the ring together. I think Drew is very intense, very good, and Seth literally at this point can't have a bad match even if he wanted to.
I'll piggyback off of what he said. Seth's somebody right now, he got a match with a broomstick that will captivate the audience. I've had the big, intense, nasty Drew, who's as good as he's ever been in the ring. And you have a recipe for a great wrestle match. Well, it'd be nice to have a clean winner, sure, but neither man can really afford to lose and finish. We only got built tension between Seth and Dolph ahead of the SummerSlam pay-per-view. Stroll match and solid continuation of the program and a hot crowd make for a great segment. After that, the Revival defeated the Deleter Worlds.
Well, at least the Revival are picking up wins now. Again, not a great match on Raw, but I'm going to think a little more positively of it. The Revival picked up a win over the Deleters of Worlds team, which is not getting any momentum together or even cohesiveness, as it would seem.
I thought it was the second best match on the show. So, literally, there was nothing else on the show. And nothing else, this reintroduced the Revival to championship contention, a place that they should never left. And Matt and Bray have lost tremendous amount of some of the uniqueness of their characters. Our race in favor of capitalize on the goofy big team. And it's unlikely that Creator will undo the effort put into Curtis and Bo. But Dasha and Scott have an opportunity to remind fans that their greatness is always worth a bit of excitement. Up next, Bayley and Sasha defeat Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan.
Apparently they forgot about the feud with Ember.
Yeah.
And the Riot Squad.
They were feud? Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah. Well, it's not really a feud. It's more or less a series of matches they had together.
That Ember could beat Liv on that series.
Yeah, but not Sarah for some reason. Yeah, the match was...
match stunk.
Yeah.
I don't care if the match is good. There's no emotion in these matches. The match just stink.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I know. Just tell them how it is. Bayley and Sasha could use the criticism. They're our two biggest fans.
They are.
They need help. And we should give it to them. from the millions that watch.
Yeah, essentially what I've felt since they decided to not completely turn one of them heel, or it doesn't even seem like that's coming now.
Women's Tag Team Championship.
Essentially, what they did was just go back in one big circle, back to the same spot where I didn't really have any interest in seeing them. Essentially,
Bruce Prichard's reaction right now on screen was my reaction to Bayley Sasha's storyline.
Well, why don't you show the people what his reaction was like?
That's all it was.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing Bayley and Sasha together, and that's before they have a big match on the main roster. After 2 years, after 2+ years.
The Rise Squad is essentially the Miztourage of the women's division.
Don't you dare insult the Miztourage. At least they got a reaction.
Well, Ruby's gets a reaction.
Ruby's the Miz.
Oh, wait. Despite being on television every week, what are their names? Liv and Sarah almost never win. They are only the tackle dummies for which our female act. WWE Craves trying to dip over that weekend. Monday was the rename Bayley and Sasha team. I mean, working out regards to baby faces look like a well-oiled unit in ways that they've not in months. Is a sign of strengthening bond and sisterhood, which hopefully will mean even more when one eventually turns on the other. Hopefully that's the end game here. Because in all 6 months of Bayley and Sasha's tag team partners is the least interesting option. I said it, I sucked.
Put way too much thought into it, though.
I'm sorry if I actually do my research.
You getting distracted by noises outside now?
No dogs. Different story, not Vicky.
How do you guys know about Vicky?
Yeah, she's probably been part of the family.
She's a whore.
Damn. Even I had some respect for her.
Might as well just come out and say it. We're thinking it anyway.
Yeah, no. Speaking of gorillas, the main Brock Lesnar attacked Kurt Angle and Paul Heyman to end the show.
Yeah, it's.
Sorry to all gorillas out there for comparing it to Vicky.
Yeah, there's kind of almost two sides of the story. I think when I saw it, maybe I just had the raw reaction where everything sort of sucked. I didn't really necessarily care, but I kind of thought about it a little bit more, and I actually kind of relatively enjoyed it.
I give you credit for thinking about rolling careers.
Thank you. But literally, it was a show angle that included Paul Heyman and reacting.
No, I'm not being sarcastic there. I'm actually imploring you for thinking about something that happened on Raw like earlier that didn't include one of the usual 4. So
yeah, it's literally a whole angle for the whole show that had Paul Heyman in it. With him reacting to things. I didn't necessarily like the parts without Heyman and Brock.
This is Angle.
Those were kind of a wasted time. Angle's sort of looking like depressed schmuck. Corbin... a
depressed Russian schmuck.
There you go.
Double.
Corbin was just there to get punched by Roman Reigns in one vignette or all.
Hey, that GIF got me a lot of likes last night on the welcome to the SmackDown Live tweeting starts now.
Okay. But I did actually enjoy Heyman and Lesnar's stuff. Yeah, it's kind of obvious go forward, but odds are is the second best thing on Raw.
The entitled champion turn on everyone from the GM to the longtime advocate is exactly the character Brock has to portray on the road to SummerSlam. So that I give him props on.
Yeah, I do. I forgot to mention this. I give Brock a whole bunch of credit.
Yeah, I thought Brock did great work all night. That I will say. If the chance for Roman late in the show were any indication too. WWE has tried for so long to get the fans to support the big dog, as Cole calls him. I forgot to mention the segment before, it was also boss time.
Yes.
Real quick, Bill and Sasha's name. The Boss and Hugger connection.
What about hugging bosses?
How about... Never mind.
How about split the hell up?
They're both your role anyway, right now. And the hint I may finally be happy Roman getting over the show has to be rewarding for them. Brock has somehow become so unlikable that fans in Miami were ready to further support behind Roman Monday. It will be difficult replicating that success week after week though. But Monday the company might have discovered a formula for getting the desired reaction come August 19th. The problem is on August 19th, that's not going to be the desired reaction.
No.
So...
Miami's going to be a much different story than Brooklyn.
Yeah. Last week's SmackDown featured some huge turn points for the brand as the major SummerSlam feuds were set. The promise of forward momentum drove last night's episode. In this show, as rivals will be face-to-face this week for Clash of Reigns. Jeff Hardy was set to return into Randy Orton's brutal attack weeks ago, facing a new version of his all-time rival, who has promised to end his career. Samoa Joe is also starting to deliver personal messages to AJ Styles after his brutal attack at the WWE Championship contract signed last week. With Becky Lynch defeating Carmella last week, she's now the #1 contender to the SmackDown Women's Championship, but there's still 7 weeks to the current champion try to scheme her way out of the situation. And there was also no doubt that Daniel Bryan will once more go after The Miz. The biggest match set for tonight was the second semifinal of the SmackDown Tag Team Championship tournament. The Usos fought the return of Sheamus and Cesaro, both teams hoping to regain tag team glory. It was also announced Zelina could make her main roster debut against Lana.
I did that.
Yes. While it was not expected to be a night great wrestling, this week's SmackDown concern would be a huge moment for the feud building and potential major announcements related to SummerSlam. Taking things off on SmackDown, Becky Lynch and Carmella's opener.
Obviously start with the opening promo.
Both girls look hot.
Yeah, both of them actually did look very amazing. Becky is pretty much has
was wearing this white top with these overalls.
Becky's promo, I thought just kept the character rolling for her, where she's the sympathetic baby face that is trying hard to get back to where she once was. And then I thought Carmella came out and cut a very good fake sympathetic promo. Probably an extraordinary fake sympathetic promo.
No, it's not fake. That girl was crying though because people are getting on her, including JR.
Yeah, they are.
I'm a nobody. But Jim Ross is a somebody.
But I pretty much knew what was going to happen as soon as she came out, that she was going to somehow coerce Becky into a betrayal, which is almost Becky's specialty at this point. She's this generation's Sting. And there's probably more of that to come in the weeks and months to come as well.
No, that one she
but I thought Carmella actually did very extraordinary. It actually seemed like a genuine moment inside of trying to coerce pretty much Becky to lower her guard so she can get the advantage. It ended up being playing James Ellsworth's music, the recently fired James Ellsworth, and then Carmella got the advantage on her, and then Charlotte came in pretty much going, nope, none of that's happening. And Charlotte came running out in a small pink top and gave me my day.
What?
I really enjoyed Charlotte running out in a tiny red top. And her new boobs.
I'm not going to be like people over here who pretend they like Carmella just because it makes her a great video. Because you know I don't like Carmella. But I can also give Carmella props for his due. That's the difference. You pretend to defend Carmella against me. But I know, off video, you don't like her. So you can pull on a fake act for the podcast. I don't have to, because I don't like Carmella.
I've actually never said on video that I liked Carmella. I've usually just been the devil's advocate.
I'm trying to defend her, but you know there's really not much to defend over there. But I will say this. This was an excellent opener. Carmella pulled out one of the best promos of her career, or her best of her career. Pulling over her struggles to show her disingenuous nature. This whole segment embraced the dynamic of the rivalry with Carmella knowing she needs to get any advantage possible over Becky. And it's good to see Charlotte back in the WWE ring. But Becky has been built naturally on her own with the Queen out of the picture. So, her best friend come back could too easily take the spotlight away from Becky when it matters most. The crowd for the segment was fired up, clearly behind Becky's return to contention. Charles' involvement is not necessary, but makes for a way better match. Come SummerSlam. And it may hurt the feud of some people, but I think it's going to help it, I think I see where the story's going. Up next, The Bar defeat the Usos to advance to the finals against the New Day next week.
It's actually my match of the week. I thought it was very excellent. I thought the two teams, they actually haven't had much interaction between the two, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Mainly because they were split up for so long. But I thought that they actually had very good chemistry together. If this is a future tag team championship feud in a couple months or so, I think we'll all be in for a good treat. And the obvious prediction there would be The Bar. We called it last week. It's not all that unpredictable, but I thought they did a very good job at making it not seem as predictable as it should be.
This is my match of the week too. It was a good match between two great tag teams. They used their time well. Few of any can match up to these two teams in WWE right now, and the only reason likely this wasn't as strong as their Survivor Series clash was the commercial breaks hurting the flow a little bit. While it was likely the Bar will emerge on this tournament with a title opportunity, I can see the New Day win. Though they don't want to turn the Bar heel face. But I think it'll be far more interesting to see Sheamus and Cesaro clash with the Bludgeon Brothers. Yeah. That match will be a brutal tag team brawl worthy of a tough spot at SummerSlam. Up next, Samoa Joe goes in on AJ Styles and his family.
Samoa Joe is probably horrendously underrated on the mic. This week he pretty much called out AJ Styles for not being a good father or husband.
Claire Lynch.
Yeah, he pseudo mentioned Claire Lynch in my mind.
That sexy beast, literally a beast. But
yeah, whenever Samoa Joe actually does an in-ring promo, it feels genuinely like what he thinks. Be that he may have freedom, which, given the current WWE climate, doesn't seem as likely. But if he's just giving scripted promos, that's an extra plus for him.
Yeah, this was a quality short promo from the Samoan submission specialist, and it was very climatic and layered to their feud, besides just their history from TNA and the Indies and Ring of Honor. As no layer personal to the feud, and with AJ not around to respond, Joe basically just got the run's mouth. And next week, AJ sells retorts. Up next, Randy Orton attempts to erase the enigma.
Another Randy Orton heelish beatdown. We're in for good times on SmackDown. But yeah, Orton came off as a very vicious, cunning self. And pretty much kind of waterboarded Jeff Hardy. Shinsuke Nakamura was there too. He had the Kinshasa to pretty much take Jeff Hardy out. He also got the distraction hit on Jeff Hardy as well, so Orton can actually do all that to him. I thought the segment came off very well. I thought Orton again looked like the dominant heel he should be, and kind of vicious and violent as well. And I thought it was a great segment.
There's some cannibals outside. That's all we're like for that. It's rare to see beatdowns in WWE these days that feel as personal. Randy had clear motivation and did not resort to his signature offense for the sake of popping the crowd. He even spent the time to wipe away Jeff's face paint as an attempt to take his identity. Actually, he didn't just take away his face paint. He wiped off Jeff's face paint, ripped off his shirt, ripped off the armbands, and ripped off his pennant.
Yeah.
To strip him out of everything that makes him him and his connection with the fans. Shinsuke's involvement in the feud is still unclear, but will likely lead to a triple threat at SummerSlam for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Jeff versus Randy's been built extremely well done for their feud after SummerSlam, so in a short time. And Shinsuke will benefit. I don't know why I put this because he's a veteran too. Shinsuke will benefit from working with the two veterans. That apparently he's not a veteran. Though I think Nakamura is not that much younger than Jeff and Orton, who are both 4 years old.
I don't think he is. Yeah,
So,
I think he's like 35, 36.
Okay, so, but he will benefit that youngster, as Gorilla Monsoon will say. Remember when Gorilla Monsoon called was Cologne a youngster?
Yeah, when he was 40.
Yeah, this is my version of that. Excellent segment though. Looking forward to their Triple Threat. Side note before we go to the second video. On topic of the Hardy Boys, not Jeff. I meant to say it's in a roll review, but it looks like Matt Hardy may be retiring in the near future based on tweet he put out.
Yes.
As of Wednesday, August 1st.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt, for all the.
It will be a longer goodbye, but we only have 3 minutes left in the video.
Pretty much. Thank you.
So if you're just being cryptic, stop being an asshole and making people think you're being cryptic. Like Dixie told Sting, stop being cryptic. Even though Sting wasn't being cryptic, he was telling the truth. But Matt, if Matt's being cryptic, fuck him. He's not Jeff anyway.
Well, anyway, thank you, Matt, for everything you've done.
In all seriousness, though, I haven't been saying Matt has been limping around as of late, and they've been keeping him in Brady's matches short. So hopefully it's not the end, but if it is, goodbye, thank you, but I don't trust you for 1 minute. But no, I don't think that's some way they're going to just let Matt say goodbye like that.
I'm going to guess that there's probably one more fun deletion.
Oh wait, never mind. They also like Christian to say goodbye like that.
That's true, yeah.
To them, Christian and Matt aren't Jeff finished.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so maybe that is how they say goodbye. If he said adios, maybe you go to SmackDown and become young again. Up next, the second half of SmackDown, 205 Live NXT.
See you then.